All right, hello there, folks. Today I'm going to go ahead and create this exploded assembly view of this candle design. This is really useful when you're doing assemblies for designing products. So let's go ahead and get started without further ado. Uh, you have already created uh, this candle. So what I want to do with this exercise is to bring it over to an assembly where uh, we can we're going to go over and bring this into assembly, and assemblies will allow us to create that exploded view. Uh, to create an assembly, hit the plus sign and choose create assembly. So what is an assembly? An assembly is a work environment, just a space. It's an empty space where we can bring parts in. So I'll click the insert button up here. All of the things that we've created over the course of our time here, as well as other things that other people have created, can be brought in to use in your design. Of course, we're going to bring our candle in, and we can bring that in as many times as we want. So you can see I put one here, put one there, and I have brought in two candles. When these come in from the part studio, you'll see that they come in as individual separate parts, even though when we built them over here in the part studio, I go to grab on one, they don't move, and they're stuck together over here. They were created as three separate parts: part one, part two, and part three. Candelabra, which is your candle base, your candle, and your flame. In my assembly, they behave as the individual parts that they are. And this is really great, but right now I want them to be stuck together. So to get around that, hey, I'm not stuck together, and I want to be stuck together, let's stick them together. First thing, to get something to not move, you right click on it and you choose the fix option, which will make that object not move. We can then go ahead and place our other parts in there. There are a lot of ways to do that. I'm going to show you the quickest way to do that right now that is good for groups of parts. So these parts, when I want them to come together, I do not want them to move relative to each other. So the style of assembly I'm going to use is something called a group. So just like before, I'm going to fix the first part, and then I'm going to group them. So I'll grab all the parts and hit the group button, give it a name, and now this group is fixed together as one unit. That doesn't mean I can't do things with the parts individually. Matter of fact, I very much can do things with the parts individually, and I'm going to show you what I want to do right now. We are going to make this into the exploded view like you see here. So we can see the individual components separated. So let's go back over there. Oops, wrong tab. We go into our assembly where we created that, and we've opened up our exploded views tab, and we're going to add an exploded view. By clicking the add exploded view button, all I need to do now is select the components in the graphics area or instance list, then drag or rotate them using the triad manipulator. So what does that mean in English? I'm going to click on the flame. This three arrow thing is the triad manipulator. It allows you to pull stuff along the axis of the triad. So there's the first one. Save that step. And then I'm going to go ahead and deselect and grab the second part that I want to move and drag it along the axis and save and deselect. And that is my first exploded view option. Click the done button. And if I want to do it in a different configuration, it's just a matter of clicking the add exploded view button. And then once again, click on the component I want to move. So let's say I want to grab the candlestick and pull it off to the right. And then save. So now I've just created, and save done. So I've created two, or you can see on the right hand side, I've got explode 1 and explode 2. Explode 1 shows the parts in that position. Explode 2 shows the parts in that position. And when I click done, I get back to my original position. So now I have 3 different options for displaying this part, and it only took me a few seconds to get them made. In order to have those options available to us when it comes to putting them in a drawing, we need to give them names. Right now, the only named view options are, front, top, right, and of course, left, back, and bottom. We need to add a custom name for our custom views. Here is our explode 1. We're going to come in to our view menu here, and we're going to choose named views. And we're going to add that custom name. In this case, we're just going to use explode 1 because, well, that's the name that's there, and that'll work. Hit the plus sign, and then close that, and then open up explode 2 and add a name view. So name view, and we'll call that explode 2. Hit the plus sign. And now you can see we have 2 additional named views, custom named views. Important thing is there are already 6 named views. What we created is a custom named view for the situation that we want. Now let's go ahead and add that to a drawing. So what we want is a front view of an outline, and then our custom exploded assembly view. I'm going to go ahead and add a sheet to my existing drawing. You might need to create your own drawing. And we're going to re-inserting using the insert button twice. The first time, we're going to just bring in a front view of our candle. So insert again, go to our assemblies, and we'll scroll on down here to candle assembly. Oops, that's not the right assembly. I forgot to rename my assembly. I'm going to cancel this real quick, and you'll see yours will probably not be called candle assembly, especially if you've been following along step by step. We didn't rename it, so I'm going to change my assembly to, and we'll rename it candle assembly 2. All right, now hit the insert view button, insert, and then scroll on down here, find candle assembly 2. Assemblies, candle assembly 2, and the position I want is front, and for this model I want the scale of 1/2. We'll select that, and then I'm going to escape out of my insert tool and go back to the insert tool again, because what happened was the first view you bring in is inserted, and then the second view you bring in is projected. So we want actually 2 inserted views in this situation. So we'll get the insert view button again. And we'll click the insert button again. Go to assemblies again. And now we're going to go back to that candle assembly 2, just like we did last time. The difference now is we're not going to be choosing the front view. Remember, we started with 6 named views, but we added 2 custom views, explode 1 and explode 2. So we're going to pick explode 1. Click it over here. And we're also going to choose the position. If you notice, explode 1 doesn't automatically give us that exploded position, because while we give it a name, there are different options in there. We can choose explode position 1 or explode position 2. We're going to take explode position 1. We named it, and there it is. Now we have that in there. It's just a matter of right-clicking, show hide, show our shaded view, and there you go. So good luck, have fun, and as always, keep being awesome.